This DIY build, it's gonna save you like 50 bucks and your lower back. But this monstrosity, it's gonna cost you your fingers, no joke. Welcome to Mechanical Nightmare. Today, I'm showing you how garage geniuses turn scrap into gold, and how one dumb internet life hack can send you straight to the emergency room. Let's get into it. Usually, homemade car lifts look like a pre-signed death certificate, but this project, honestly, it actually looks solid. Anyone who's wrenched in a garage knows the struggle. No inspection pit, no headroom, and jack stands get in the way. Enter the collapsible ramp. Jack it up, lock it on stands, do the job, fold it against the wall. Sounds perfect. The mechanics using a bottle jack as a lever that tucks away is brilliant. The weight ends up resting on rigid steel supports, not hanging on the hydraulics. But even here, there is a hidden trap that 90% of DIYers miss. The weak point is lateral stability. The left and right runners are doing their own thing. Picture this, you're reefing on a seized bolt, you shove the wrench sideways, and the whole thing could just fold on you out of nowhere. How do we make this 100% safe? The main fix, add removable cross braces. Connect the two sides with a rigid pipe so they act as one solid frame. Then it won't tip. And obviously, the quality of your welds here is literally the price of your safety. With those cross braces, I'd actually use this, but be honest, would you actually trust it? From genius to questionable. Here's a case of great skills, terrible idea. A drill press made from a car jack and a bike chain. Freehand drilling is always a gamble, the bit walks. A shop press costs money, but an old jack is free. So, combine them and live happily ever after, right? Visually, it's straight out of Cyberpunk 2077. Chain drive, jack feed, the guy spent hours welding and fitting. It moves, but you can't cheat physics. The problem is that a scissor jack has slop in every single joint. It's built to lift a car, not to be a precision lever. As a result, the drill bit wanders all over the place. It's insanely wobbly. The fix? Ditch the jack for the feed mechanism, replace it with a simple rigid lever and a return spring. It'll be way more accurate. And for the love of God, make a proper collar for the drill mick. Don't use a hose clamp. Question for the fabricators. Is it worth ruining a good jack for a crooked hole, or is this just for the views? From sketchy presses to hand tools, this guy builds a universal set. A chain offset extension for tight spots and a beefy homemade ratchet. The extension works great. It transfers torque deep into the mechanism. Sprockets, shafts, solid. But with the ratchet, he went full mad scientist mode. He takes a sprocket, makes a pawl, and mounts the pivot on a bearing. The idea is to make it spin smooth. But then he does something that makes every mechanical engineer flinch. He welds the bearing directly to the handle. Arc welding on a hardened race. Bearings and welding do not mix. The heat ruins the temper, softens the steel, and warps the race. That bearing is going to seize up or disintegrate in your hand the moment you apply torque. If you're building tools with bearings, press fit or clamps only. Never weld them. Better yet, buy a ratchet repair kit for a couple of bucks. It won't fail you. I'll give him points for creativity though. Admit it, who here has tried welding a bearing? How long did it last? If the last project just breaks in your hands, this next one is coming for your fingers. A homemade sliding miter saw using shock absorbers. A good sliding miter saw is pricey, and we all want straight cuts. This guy mounts a circular saw on rails made from old car struts. Looks like a real machine. Nice paint job, but looks can kill. Shocks aren't linear rails. The shafts have side-to-side play. That means when you slide it, the saw blade is going to wobble. You'll never get a square cut. But a bad cut is the least of your worries. Look at the blade. It's completely exposed. No retractable guard. Miter saws are hungry beasts. One slip to brush away sawdust, and it's game over. Plus, with that play in the shocks, the blade is guaranteed to bind and kick back. If you insist on building this, use proper linear bearings and hardened shafts, and absolutely mandatory requirement, install a spring-loaded blade guard. Without it, do not approach this machine. Woodworkers, would you trust your hands to an unguarded saw? Safety regulations are written in blood for a reason. Next lot. Trying to turn an angle grinder into a universal soldier. A transformer shroud with dust extraction. Looks like a tank, probably weighs as much. Dust control is great, sure. The builder welds a massive enclosed box, but the execution. You have to undo 10 bolts just to change the disc, but that's annoying. What comes next is terrifying. At the end of the video, the builder makes a fatal mistake. He puts a toothed wood-cutting blade on the grinder. This is where physics comes to collect its debt. Grinders spin at 11,000 RPM. Abrasive discs grind, saw teeth bite. If that blade grabs the wood, it kicks back instantly. A grinder has no riving knife, no slip clutch. The tool gets ripped out of your hands with massive force, and that heavy steel box, it's flying straight into your face. Here's the rule. Want to cut wood? Buy a circular saw. Want dust extraction? Get a plastic shroud. But never, and I mean never, put a toothed blade on an angle grinder. That is a one-way ticket to facial reconstructive surgery. Hit like if you agree that cutting firewood with a grinder is basically Russian roulette. That's it for the mechanical madness today. Keep your hands attached and your eyes open. In the next episode, we're looking at electronics that explode and shameless fakes that are lying to your face. Subscribe so you don't miss it. See you in the next one.